Hi folks, I promised you for this video something like the angle of the association or corporation. I will postpone this for the next one. I thought I will give you a bonus session here for you, the farmers around the world. I told you that we should not run out for GIs. We should build first a kind of internal business model which function, which get traction. And on the heels of traction, there we would go for something else, would be a collective trademark certification mark, or perhaps even a GI if it is mature enough. So the initial stage is bigger than you may have thought in the beginning. So it takes some time in order to get to the point, in order to make the infrastructure for the GI. Now, it starts all with a kind of trademark, and trademark is not expensive. Trademark can be done with your IP office. Maybe it can be done by yourself. In Europe, it is the case. So individuals can file a trademark and can pay directly the fees, which are not high. In Europe, for 600 million consumers, the trademark will cost you 1,000 euros for 10 years protection. So in your country, if it is Africa, South America, Southeast Asia, whatever, it is much cheaper. The consumer base is less big, is smaller naturally, but you don't need, in order to start a business model, to look for feedback from the market, to test the market, to get started, so to say. You need something which is smaller and by along the way which has not the big cost issues with regard, for example, to Europe, to foreign countries, to export, etc. So what you need is to test your market. But still, you would need a kind of trademark, and the trademark is not linked necessarily to that product. The trademark belongs to your business, and your business may produce X product today and Y product tomorrow and Z product the year after, but that can be done under the same trademark. So it is not something linked to the product. It is also not necessarily something linked to some quality standards, certain quality standards. You might have your internal quality standards, but that is not something which necessarily is expected by the others or known by the consumer base. No, that is your standard, and you want a high delivery, and if the ingredients are good, are quality ingredients, the quality product is clear, then it is perceived as a quality product naturally, but also by the consumers. And they would repeat it, and they would expect the same quality at their next purchase, and the day after, and the day after. So all the purchases, they would like to have the same quality. If they don't have the same quality, so they get deceived, so to say, and they would drop your product and not purchase it anymore. So that is how the trust building works. The GI or other, like the sustainable label, what I said before, or not slavery, child labor, the ecological issue you may have within your country. These are additional labels which give a certain idea to the consumer. Those who want ecologic friendly, they would rather choose your product with regard to other product which has not that label, without knowing any of them. So these are things to have in mind before, but I want to talk you a bit through a trademark. When we say trademark, well, you think a trademark is, the most important one or most well-known one around the world would be Coca-Cola. But what is Coca-Cola exactly? Coca-Cola has the what is it, kind of written types. It is not the printing types. So the written types. So you would think if it is Coca-Cola, it is a word mark. It is not. It is a complex mark. It has pictorial elements into it, and the pictorial elements is the kind of italic script of Coca-Cola. But there is more to it, and I told you in the previous video that I'm not a fan of whiskey, but I'm a fan of whiskey bottles with whiskey inside, naturally, of stone, and here are some of them. I have this one, for example. This is a Tullamore Dew, which is a whiskey from Ireland, and you see Tullamore Dew very prominently presented in the middle of the bottle. Now, what can this tell you? Well, the first thing would be if, this would be a trademark, the whole shape of what you see here, with the written and with the pictorial elements, with everything. This could be a trademark. Why not? This could be a trademark. Now, the most important thing on the trademark would be Tullamore Dew. All the rest, what is that here? Irish whiskey, for example, Irish whiskey, and then, the content 70 milliliters and something else. So that would be Tullamore Dew. That would be the most important element in this trademark. And that would be compared to any other trademark which have similar features. So if you have if that would be your trademark, right? And you would then have another trademark, you would compete against another trademark, a previous trademark if you want, which has only Tullamore Dew with printed letters and nothing else. So a pure word mark. Well, you might encounter a problem because, the first to filing principle, you know this already. If there is a previous mark and there's Tullamore Dew, and you would have the most important part here in this bottle would be Tullamore Dew, you would compare one to the other. And if it is identical, probably the consumer would be confused. Now you have many other elements. You have the bottle, you have the bottle here, and you have here something, a kind of emblem with an animal inside. I don't know which animal it is, a dog or so, inside. Well, this is not really perceived due to the fact that Tullamore Dew is very prominently displayed here in the middle with capital letters, not capital letters, but with big letters. You would be attracted as a consumer to what? To Tullamore Dew. And the bottle, well, the bottle is still something special. It is not a typical bottle, but you would not be attracted to it. It is, at the end, it is a kind of container for what is inside, right? The whiskey. And the downside are descriptive elements which tells you where the whiskey comes from, what is inside, what is the alcohol of inside, and etc. So where is the the area where it comes from, etc. So that can be a trademark. Everything can be a trademark. So this shape of the bottle with what is written on it, that can be suitably a trademark. But Tullamore Dew could be, as a word, also a trademark. Or the Tullamore Dew and the little emblem here on the top, that could be also a trademark. And then if, for example, the Tullamore Dew and the small emblem here on top would be the trademark, forget about all the rest, the bottle shape and what is here on the downside, then you would say, well, this is a little bit different here. You would not be really attracted to it, but it is the first thing, it is on top of of the trademark, and you would look at it, well, there could be something here is inside, and now you would compare the Tullamore Dew of the previous example, what was already on the register, with something here on top which is different. Tullamore Dew is still the most important thing here, but you have a secondary element here which distinguishes from the other. Well, I would still say that it is too much close to a previous trademark, so I would not recommend you to file for Tullamore Dew even with a small emblem on top. Now, this is a trademark, right? A trademark can be indifferent and can be a complex mark with shapes, with ornamental elements, with descriptive elements, with, all descriptive elements are not important. As we say, pictorial elements are not as important as word elements. And why is that? Well, very easily, the people, they want to take this as a repetition of the consumer experience, right? So if this was a quality product, they want to another Tullamore Dew. And how do they refer in a shop of this? Well, I want to have not a bottle with a handle here and a strange shape and there is a pictorial element on it. That would be too difficult to explain to a shop assistant. So they would rather say, well, I want a Tullamore Dew. And the shop assistant, they would exactly know what it is if they have it in their shelves, right? So this is a possibility of different approaches to trademark, and I would give you only the possibility to make to design your trademark according to what you think is good for you and can be distinguished by the consumers, and more importantly can be distinguished from previous trademarks which are on the register. First to file, that's what I told you in various occasions. First to file is the one who is first on the register. They have already a trademark, and you must, or you can have only a trademark which is sufficiently different from those which are already on the register. Okay, this is one example. I will give you another example here, which is another bottle of whiskey, a different one. Again, they have very much pictorial elements in the sense, if you take again the bottle entirely, you would have here another emblem, you would have here Je Frere, which would be, I perceived again, like the previous one, the trademark. There's 12 years old. Well, that is a descriptive element, right? So the pictorial element here on top is just Y and F, which is, well, Y and F. It is Je Frede, Y and F. It is distinctive in the sense that it can be easily remembered by the consumers. YF or Je Frede, you would refer to this as such. So as a general rule, I would say to you, the distinctive element is the most important one. The most distinctive, the better, right? Descriptive elements, forget about it. Non-distinctive element, forget about it. The bottle of the, of this bottle here, well, that is a bottle which has some shape which, well, is a bit different, but it's still a bottle. Now, you, as a general rule, you should only be aware how would the consumer refer to the product. And that is it. You can also have a design, that can be a design. That is a different issue, but we talk about the trademark here. So how would a consumer refer to your product when you present the label? That is what it is about, the trademark. And then you can, you have a wide choice, but this is what you should retain when you do search for your trademark, and then you would look on what is on the register. I would recommend you for a different one than that. Thank you.